Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
And there it
Welcome.
is.
Welcome,
Thank you. Thank
welcome,
you.
welcome.
Thank
I don't
you.
know why I can't comment on my post. It's weird. Anyways, welcome everybody. We are back with Conscious Conversations 2025. It's been a minute for me.
Mhm.
I will say that. It's been a minute. Cuz life has lifed. And it's been life. And so I don't know, for those of you that are uninitiated, we're gonna wait for a couple more people to come through. But I am Dawn Kristen Ellison, also known as Dawn of the Aquarius. I am a life mastery coach, metaphysician, spiritual mentor, slash author, slash transformational speaker, slash jack of all trades. But on this platform, I'm here to inspire, to uplift, to motivate, to open and awaken your minds, your hearts, and to inspire you to live this thing called life to the fullest, unapologetically.
Mhm.
And this is amazing because Cynthia, she and I have never had a conversation before.
Yeah.
I love that thing about conscious conversations because I usually ask people to come on who I've never had that engagement with yet, so that people can see how organic and how authentic these conversations really go when you are coming
Yeah.
from a higher conscious place, and how we're all connected and we get it, and we're here to learn from one another. No
Exactly.
matter what stage of the game you're in, we're here to feed off of one another. And these are, for me, examples of healthy conversations that people should be having, not on the same, of the same caliber, but when you're having conversations with your friends or, people you work with or anybody, it should be a natural exchange. It should be a natural flow. It should be a feeding of energy on both parts, the reciprocity. So that's one of the reasons why I really, really love not talking beforehand. So we can,
Right.
those reactions, like it trust me, it happens. But while you are all coming in, once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please hit that like button. Please hit that share button. Tell your friends, tell your family, whoever. Tonight's conversation is going to be kind of heavy for some of us. Kind of heavy.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to share with you something that actually happened just an hour ago. That was really, really
Oh.
dope. Um, and we're going to be talking about the subject of grief
Mhm.
and how to remain in your personal power while you are grieving, and not allowing that grief to take over, because you still have a lot of life left to live, rather than what was lost or who was lost.
Mhm.
Because they're really not lost. They've just
Exactly.
transitioned and we are transitioning. But yeah, it's really dope. So yeah, once again, go ahead, share the live, and then I will have my guest introduce herself so that everybody can get into this. Everybody.
I've never been used to introducing myself. I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me to tell people about me. I hope you can hear me
Hmm.
well enough. My name is Cynthia Robinson, and I'm known as Zenful Sin because I'm a business owner, a massage therapist. I've been in the beauty industry for 20 plus years. Started off doing nails, then had an epiphany, went into massage therapy, realized it was my purpose, and I'm a Southern girl. I'm a Southern girl, and I'm actually I say a former elder of the church because when you become enlightened and you have to let some things go, finding who you are, you have to walk a different path. So my business is definitely a ministry for me and its purpose, and I love what I do. I am also an author of a journal called Walking in Gratitude because that's something that I focus on every day. I'm a mom of three amazing daughters, and I'm a noni of seven green kids, and That's just me in a nutshell. I'm a spiritual motivator. I love people. I love life. I love diversity because not only am I a PK, um, which my dad is a retired pastor. I'm a military brat, so I have seen and met so many people from different walks of life. So I just live, love, and learn every day as much as I
I love that. See, you got it down pat though.
can.
Let me just get a couple points. So you have 7 grands.
I do, I do.
Wow.
Yeah, and well, really eight because I have a bonus one, so I have eight grandkids.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, yeah, I love it.
I cannot imagine, but that is such a blessing.
It
That's such
is.
a blessing to be able to be an example and to share wisdom and to love on.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
the way I look at it.
It's a different kind of love. It's a
It is.
different,
It's the love
yeah,
you can get back to their mamas and their daddies. It's like,
right.
here you go. Okay, I'm finished.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
so you've been in the beauty industry for 20 plus years, 20 years.
Right. Right.
I too, well, 30 years for me.
Awesome. You
30.
don't look like you've been in nothing for 30 years,
I
baby.
started
You
very
just
young.
been here for 30 something years. That's
So
it.
this little hustler that you see on a regular, she's been in hustle mode since she was 14. I want to say 11 probably. Yeah, 11.
Kindred spirits. I
I
feel
mean, it's just, like you said, you found your gift, you found your passion, you found
it.
that thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you just ran with it. I found mine very early, very,
Yeah.
very early. And it's like, I
Yeah.
just, okay. And then I found
Yeah.
out I can make some money off of this too.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do this. We're
It's
going to
even better, right? It's even better.
That's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's something that I really encourage people to do. Find that thing. I did a
Oh
post
yeah.
some time back, and I said, if you ever get stuck and don't know which direction to go in, like we go into those spaces and places of limbo sometimes, and we feel like we've hit a wall. And
Right.
I always tell people, if you feel like you've reached the end of whatever the chapter is,
Yeah.
let it go
Yeah.
and go back to doing something that you know you're really, really good at.
It's never too late
Yeah, it
to
just
start over. Never.
that thing will help you get back into a certain kind of flow.
Yeah.
And and
Absolutely.
and by law, it's naturally something's gonna fall into place.
Yes.
Something's going to happen because you
Yes.
release a kind of resistance,
Mm-hmm.
urgency, anxious.
Right.
You just allowed something to just
Yeah.
come into play when it's
Yeah.
supposed
Oh
to.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I've learned that you just have to let life evolve to you.
Hmm.
The more you force it, I feel like the more anxiety and distractions of this realm will get a hold of you, and it'll distract you from your purpose. So I feel like when you desire to do something and you desire something from the depths of your soul, go towards that path and it will happen for you. You don't have to force it, you don't have to push it, just step into what it is that you desire, and it's going to come into fruition. You don't have to worry about it because it's already done, because once you start manifesting in the mind, body, and spirit, it's look, you're gonna get it. Hey Marcus, you're gonna get it though.
Hey, Marcus.
Marcus, at my homeboy from the
My
Ville. That's
favorite
right,
DJ.
Hartsville, stand up.
That's my favorite DJ.
Yeah, mine too.
You're so right about that. It's just people, and I'm gonna touch on this, of course, down the line. When it
Hmm.
comes to manifestation has become a fad word.
Yeah,
Becomes something that people really don't process as to what it
yeah.
really, really means. We're
Hmm.
manifesting every single day, moment by moment,
All the time,
all the time.
all the
So
time.
when it came to everybody becoming aware of the law of attraction with this,
Hmm.
back in the early
Hmm.
2000s, it was like, okay, yeah, you think about it and you write it down, great. and you keep putting positive energy towards it. Absolutely. But
Absolutely.
every single teacher that was on that documentary, that we did a disservice to people. We didn't
Yeah.
exactly let them know that it's not so much, yes, your thoughts become things. That's true across the board. But when
Right.
you're trying to bring things into fruition that you
Mhm.
desire, it's about
Mhm.
alignment. It's about
That's
rate, it's
it.
about resonating that same frequency of that thing. It's about,
Right.
I mean, because I call the law of correspondence, the law of attraction's twin. Like
Mm.
they're the same, but they're different.
I love that.
It's you have to embody, you have to align, become, radiate, vibrate at that frequency of that thing, and act like realistically you already have it. It's already
That's
here.
it. That's it. That's
Because
it.
people say, "Oh, when I." No, you have. It is.
Have.
It's already done.
Absolutely.
Now
Absolutely.
you keep doing the work and bring it closer and closer and closer. But like I said, we do that every single day
All the time.
with the small things. It's the bigger
Yes.
things
Yeah.
that
We have
require the
issues with.
bigger adjustments,
Yeah. Yeah.
require the bigger tweaking. And you have to, okay, if I want to become that doctor, I do have to do the work, but my eye is on the prize.
Absolutely.
And I have a vision, but I'm also excited and enthusiastic about what that vision is going to become that I haven't even thought of yet. Because what along the journey, you're going to meet people, you're going to have new
Mhm.
ideas, new experiences,
Mhm.
you're going to make new
Yes.
decisions, change your mind about a couple things, tweak a
Yes.
couple things here and there. And then you
Yeah.
say, oh, 7, 8 years ago when I started this journey, it didn't look like this. It looks
Right.
better
Oh yeah.
than anything I could have imagined before. It's just about going with that flow, but first you have to find that flow and you have
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
ask for whatever it
Yeah.
is that you're gonna end up getting into alignment with. So that's a whole
That's a whole nother live, honey, because I can tell you my whole testimony how I got my business through that. So we'll do that. We'll
I
definitely
mean,
get
I lived
touch
that.
on
You know
that.
what was crazy when in my real life friends, I'm gonna say that, my real life friends, they get so tickled with me because they say, you said this is what you were gonna do. And I'm watching it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's the first part. You do have to speak it into existence.
Absolutely.
But the biggest part is human beings are not used to people actually doing what they say they're going to do.
That's it. They're
Somewhere
not.
along the line, they allow doubt, fear, worry, discouragement, other people's opinions to come in and knock them off their path.
Yep.
Instead of saying, no,
Yep.
this is what I want. If I change my mind, I change my mind and I'll do something
That's it.
else. But if
Yeah.
I've actually said it out loud, if I've actually verbalized it to you, this is me speaking about me. If I've
Yeah.
actually said it to another human being, I've already gone to the executive board
Right. That's
and,
it.
and thought about it. Is this really what I want? Is this really what I want to do? Is this really who I
Yes.
want to be? And then
Right.
I'll say, oh, yeah, I'm getting ready to do this, this, that. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
manifestation is actually a way of life. And how
Yes.
you decide to manifest in your life is all up to you. You can manifest BS.
All the time. All the time. All the time. Look, I have to watch my words. I really um understood uh right pre-COVID, but mostly during COVID that how powerful my words are. And I was I'm a Southern girl, like I said, raised in the South, and my mom is one of those old Southern women, and she loves to say, "Oh my gosh, if it's not one thing," I'm like, "Stop right there," because what we're not going to do is speak anything else,
Mhm.
because we do not need anything deterring us, any warfare coming our way, because you spoke something, matriarch, that this family does not need.
Yeah.
So, So my thing is to just begin to speak, learning to speak things. And with every trial, obstacle situation that I've been in my life, it has taught me to speak even better. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I grew in levels of speaking my life, and now I'm unapologetically speaking my life at almost 53, and people look at me like I'm
And almost
crazy. And I
what?
said, I'll be 53 in August.
Oh, okay.
And I know when I say that, I'm like, what? What?
It
But
don't.
yeah,
Don't.
yeah. And I just and I'm just like unapologetically speaking it, whether it makes someone else uncomfortable or not. I don't need you to come in agreement with me, but I need you to hear me say it so when it happens, you'll understand what you should be doing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's so much leverage in doing that, and it's so much leverage in not really caring what people think and or say that's contrary to your purpose and what you speak. Leo in the house. That's right, man. Leo. Leo in the house.
It's
Yeah, but
it's
I agree with you.
it's a journey
Hmm.
itself, getting to that point of being so content
Yeah,
and okay with unapologetically speaking your truth,
yeah,
because it's a different mindset, because I'm not saying this to hurt you. I'm not
right,
saying this out of malice. I'm not saying
right,
this to offend you. I'm just
right.
speaking what I know now to be my truth.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
my truth bothers you, because I know how to say no,
Hmm.
because I'm not giving you what it is that you want, and I'm okay with
Right.
saying that to you.
Yes.
That's what human beings don't get, because we've been raised to be so freaking polite. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. I don't want to give you that. I don't have time for that. I'm doing
Hmm.
something else.
Yeah,
And it's almost like it's rude to tell someone no when you really want to say no. When
right.
they want you to overextend and overgive and overlove, instead of saying,
Hmm.
no, I have to stop. That's literally the thing that everybody's raging about boundaries. It's like, no, have boundaries, period. That we should be raised with boundaries.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But we have to develop them in our own way, and really
Hmm.
get to the root of it and say, what is it that you want to say yes to? What is it
Yeah,
that you want to say no to? And learn
yeah,
to listen to your body
right.
when a decision is presented to you. When it's
Oh, yeah.
sitting in front of you, we're still taking that red or that blue pill every single day. which one do I want to take today? Am I
Which
gonna
one?
am I gonna do this one? As but it when you learn how to unapologetically live, walk, and speak your truth,
Right. Oh, yeah.
I think this is a good way to lead into this, because it is a form of a death.
Hmm.
When I say that, it is because it's transformation. And
Yeah.
I think, like I said, this is a great way to lead into this, because grief is something that we've already experienced when we chose to come leave that temporary life, that
Yep.
temporary identity, that
Yep.
temporary self, and decided to allow them to transition and give
Hmm.
birth and life to this new us, the real us,
Hmm. Hmm.
the
Hmm.
authentic us. So it's like when it hits, yes, we are human and we are going to feel the feels, but
Yes.
it's that initial, that kind of impact of losing self
Yeah.
is nothing in comparison to losing, quote unquote, or I don't like to say losing because we never lose them, but a loved one transitioning, or
Exactly.
something such as a career or a job or a home or something that we loved and cherished is no longer with us, or we no longer have it in our
Right.
physical possession, and it does create a form of grief.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But once again, there is nothing like that. And
Mm.
those that choose to experience it, that say, I volunteer. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Or some of us are forced to do it.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's a whole
That's
nother.
a whole listen. It is the thing is about when you have a death of yourself, right? You don't understand that you, and when you do understand, this is when it hits so hard that you were one of the people that had a shovel
Mm,
because of the simple fact that either you allowed people to do what they did longer than what they should have, because when you realize who they were and who they showed you they were, you thought that because of who you are that they would change, because they would be a reflection of you, but they had no desire, they had no intentions, they had no knowledge, and they had no love in them to be who you were to them. So in a
mhm,
sense of the matter, you took a shovel either from them, or you went and got your own and you helped dig your own grave for yourself to die. And I was there a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like holding on, saying, well, maybe I'm not seeing the right thing in them. No, baby, they were showing me exactly who they were. But because
mhm,
I didn't want to face failure. Sometimes we don't want to face failure in another relationship, in another marriage, in another career, in another business. We don't want to face the failure. So we will keep holding on to what's already dead and stinking. So we don't,
mhm.
when we realize we're standing there in the mirror and we're holding a shovel, that's when it hits really, really hard. And that's when we have to really say, you know what? I yield. You got to drop the shovel. Then you got to not only realize that you help deplete and put to death of someone that really should have been thriving. You got to try to figure out how to resurrect that individual with no help. So
With
when
no
you
help
realize that you
whatsoever.
when you realize you got to do that, then you're starting from a seed. You got to grow all over again. But the beautiful thing about that is you see yourself cultivating and you understand the fruit of the matter. And when you begin to grow up out of that soil, you get what I'm saying? After all that dirt that's been placed on you and you see yourself flourish, can't nobody tell you who you are. And sometimes some of us have to go through that in order to be at that, have the ministry of no, have the ministry of me, have the ministry of self-care. Because too many times, especially women, especially Southern, and I'm gonna say men too. I don't want to say make it a man or woman thing, but sometimes we're taught that we're supposed to put ourselves on the back burner because that's honor. No, baby, that is not honor. That
That's
is
just
not,
not.
that's suicide.
Yeah.
That is suicide. Because if you're not who you are to everybody in your life, you are doing a disservice not only to them, but to the people that are purposed and that are assigned to you in the future.
Come on
So
now.
you have to be who you are. And I learned that the hard way. I learned it very hard. Did I want to learn it the hard way? Absolutely not.
No.
But am I glad that I did learn that death of me had to happen in order for the pure, raw, unapologetic, the one that cuss sometime, the one that if you want to pray, we'll pray, but let me really teach you how to speak your life instead of always on your knees, because when you're on your knees and your head down, you can't even see the vision coming forth that God has even called for you. You don't understand that He has called you a king or a queen and you're royalty, and royalty shouldn't always be on their knees trying to
Mm-mm.
shift something that God has already called forth anyway.
Come
Come
on
on
now.
now. That's just
Yes.
what I'm saying. So
Because it's
I'm
real. And that fire that you have within you is the fire that you walk through, not
yeah,
ran through, not groveled through, none of that. That's the fire that you had to walk through, and you
absolutely.
now have that fire. And I said, I'm gonna put it inside of me, and I'm gonna allow that to keep moving me and forward, and I'm gonna use that every
Yeah,
single time, every day,
yeah,
because sometimes that fire is what we need to be self starters, self motivators, the one that's in
yes.
our, the one that we looking in the mirror and say, "Girl, you got this. You
Mm-hmm.
got this. I know
Mm-hmm.
it feels
Mm-hmm.
heavy. I know it's hard. I know it's it. You want to drown. You feel like you are going with them,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you, we've already got the tools.
Mm-hmm.
We already
Yes, we
have
do.
the knowledge and the wisdom and the knowing.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through this. That
Oh, yes.
is knowing how to stand in your power at the worst moments possible. That's
Right.
no that's
Right.
that that's that there is no failure. There is no fail. There is no other option other than
Yes, sir.
we gonna win this war. We're winning it.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
already done.
Yeah,
Because
it is.
this grieving of losing. The
Yeah.
human beings aren't okay with losing. They feel like losing, and which is so crazy to me because we're the only. I just thought about this last night for the 20th time, probably. Human beings are the only ones in nature who are not okay with shedding and losing and
I
transition.
was just thinking about shedding. I was just thinking about
We're not okay with it. But guess what? A tree ain't mad when the leaves start to fall. It does it every year. Why?
right.
Because it has a knowing I'm getting ready to get some new ones. But right now, these branches got to rest.
Yes. Yes.
This physical thing of me has to take rest and
Yeah.
I have to out with the old and in with the new. These new leaves,
That's
they're
it.
gonna give me new life. They're gonna give me new purpose
Right.
because they
Right.
have purpose. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? These
Absolutely.
leaves that I've let go, that have used me, reciprocity, okay,
Yes.
are now going to go off, become whatever it is, biodegradable. I don't know if I'm using the right term, to now
Yes.
fertilize the rest of the ground. It's a cycle.
Yes. It is.
Human beings don't understand this thing called the cycle of life itself.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
it's got to take place. So if we're not okay with transition, change, uh losing,
Mm-hmm.
we don't understand that we're going to get a gain because at the end of the
Yes.
day, that thing called death is the beginning of something new, a new life
Absolutely.
for all
Yeah.
of us, a new
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
a new dynamic
Yeah.
as a family, whatever
Yeah.
it may be. Sometimes it's not good.
Right. Right.
Sometimes it could cause rift. Well, guess what? Those rifts are telling you whether or not you're going to keep those certain players in your story going forward. Because
Right.
sometimes that person, that transition was the glue holding y'all together.
Oh yeah. Listen, that was my cousin. That was my cousin. Um, yeah, hey baby, my daughter's on here. She said, "Hey mom, I want to tell her
Hey,
hey."
baby. I
But
don't even know who's in here. We've just been talking. I don't even know who all is in here. Ooh, goodness. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
yeah, hey
Once
y'all.
again,
Hey
let me
y'all.
redo this. Let me redo this. Welcome. Because, we get on the rampage. Conscious Conversations. It
Yeah.
just flows. It just goes. For those of you that are uninitiated, my name is Dawn Kristen Ellison, also known as Dawn of the Aquarius. I am a life mastery coach, metaphysician, spiritual mentor, author, transformational speaker. I do everything. Conscious Conversations is one of my babies. I love getting on this platform with people, like-minded people who are on their own spiritual path, on their own conscious journey, have this awareness. And we're here to teach and demonstrate and show everybody how to open their minds, open their hearts, open their spirits to become the greater and better version of themselves. This is
Hmm.
our first time having a conversation, like I said to
It
those who are
is.
not in
It
here.
is.
I love that aspect of conscious conversations because we don't know where the conversation is going to go. We don't know what's going to be said, but honey, when I tell you it is always just on up here, the frequency is always high. It's incredible.
I
This is
love it.
my guest, Cynthia Robinson. She's amazing. She go ahead and give your rundown one more again.
Look, I'm a mom of three amazing daughters. I'm a noni of seven, which is grandmother. If you all don't know that, and my baby girl that's in the chat, she's the one that actually gave me the title for my grandkids to call me that. I'm a spiritual motivator. I am a retired elder of the church. But my ministry is my business, which is Zen Escape Day Spa. I'm a massage therapist. Been in the beauty industry for 20 plus years. And I love to do life. I love to encourage people. I love to unapologetically explain to people that you need to be you before you're anything else. Be you to you. and be that in a loving way where you deserve every good thing that comes to you, and let everybody else get the trickle down, because baby, if you're depleted, the trickle down is going to be very, very, very dry. So I love to tell people, feed yourself first, baby, and let everybody else partake in what's at your table. Understand? That's just it. That's just me in a nutshell.
Come on now. I love the posts that you make and your platform and how you I'm gonna say we naturally take real life, have that spark of thought, and we're able to give it
Yeah.
in a way that makes people think, but also makes people feel.
Uh,
It's not so much, oh, you dropping gems. No,
mm-hmm.
hitting a spot because, and people always say, how did you know I needed that? How did you know you right on time again? Happens daily. And it's
Yeah.
something I allow spirit to say, okay, send it to that person, send it to this person, or say this, and
Yeah.
it's it's just so refreshing because I probably said this before. For most of my life, I felt like a weirdo because I could do what we do. For most of my life, up until realistically this platform, I
Come on
did
here.
not know there were other people who were on this same or similar type of journey
I'm telling
and
you.
having these same kind of moments. Like, okay,
Yeah.
because guess what? I've always been the weirdo. I've always
Yeah.
been the one who's like, where'd you get that idea? Why are you thinking like that? Or that's not normal. That's not regular. I'm not regular. I'm not normal. But now
Yeah.
I'm finding people who are saying I'm not regular. I'm not
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm
That's
I'm
it.
loving it. I'm loving it. And
Yeah.
just watching everything that you put on. I mean, and it's it's not so much everything that we post makes you think. It's just us being authentic. It's
That's
just
it.
us being us. And you
Yeah.
got a lot. We have a world of people who don't know how to do that, won't
Yes.
do that,
Yeah.
and are not open to doing that because they're
Yeah.
afraid. Afraid of losing everything and everyone around them that they know,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
means they are not going to live and experience life at its wholeness,
Mm-mm.
at its fullness. And you're
Nope.
always going to be worried about what someone else is doing
Nope.
because you don't want to lose them. You don't want them to think of you different. You don't want to feel that
Mm.
feeling. Well, baby, those feelings are
Whew.
natural. Those feelings are human feelings that you're supposed to feel because you're supposed to get through them. You're supposed to learn from them. You're supposed to grow from them.
Yes.
And most
Yes.
people will run from them.
Right. Right. What we don't understand is that when we become and walk into who we are authentically, um, there is a purging that happens. And a lot, and first and foremost is of the people around us that should be around us, that who doesn't want us to be our authentic self, because who we are authentically is who uh is what's attached to our purpose. Does that make sense? And
Mm-hmm.
for me I was raised in the church. My grandfather was a deacon in the church, and he was a very, God-driven man. And then, it was just like here I was doing the same thing with my kids and just completely lost me. Does that make sense? It's
Mm-hmm.
like it took me so long to realize that I was still so close to God, but I didn't have to be in a place that I I couldn't be who I was.
Mm-hmm.
If I was called demonic, or I was a witch, or I was this, or I was that, or I was doing this, or I was hoodooing, or whatever. And then I realized, you know what? It's all right. If you think that way, it's all right. Because if you think that way about me, if your feelings are distorted because I start to be who I truly am, because as a child, I did not understand why I would have certain dreams and then it would come to pass. I did not understand that I would see visions and I would see angels and ancestors and things like that. I would see people that I'd never met in my entire life and get up from the dream and describe them to my mama. My mom said, they died when I was pregnant with your brother and you was the second child. So how do you even know who they are? Like different things like that. I'm wondering why. Am I this type of person? And the church like to call you, they call you a prophet, and then they want you to do this and do that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you got no car when I'm here to tell you that you need to forgive your uncle for what he did to you, because that's why you don't have a proper man in your life, because you still hurt and you still carrying the same pain that you had when you was 8 years old. That's what I'm here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you about this job that you kind of want, baby. You need to go all the way back and start over,
Start at the
because
root.
you died 15 years ago,
Yes.
and you got the shovel still, and you still not trying to, you know what I'm saying, you're not trying to
Never
reincarnate,
properly
you're not
grieved.
trying to resurrect. So that's how I'm used it in a way to check people. I'm not a feel good uh, light that comes into your life all the time. I found that when people connect with me, they start seeing the truth in themselves, and it either makes them uncomfortable, especially relationship wise. It makes them uncomfortable, and they begin to treat me bad because they don't see. You know what I'm saying? They're attracted to the light. You know what I'm saying? To your light when you're like that, but then when they get with it, it makes them see themselves, and then they like, dang. And then is you know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say this is like what you were saying earlier, about people going through certain things. It made me think of when you make homemade jelly and things have to come before it can be uh, even set to become the finished product. It has to come to a rolling boil. And in that rolling boil, that means it doesn't ever stop. The boiling stop. You can stir it. You can do whatever you want to do. That rolling boil is just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And some of us have never allowed our lives to come to a rolling boil. So everything is pure, everything is mastered together, mixed together, and gelled together in a way that when you pour out, you're going to be perfect. Perfect in the sense of how you are, perfect in the sense of how you feel, perfect in the sense of how you walk, just like the jelly, the way it tastes, the way it's formed, how it is in a jar. Everything is perfect about it. And that's the thing. We don't want to stay in the heat long enough. You get what I'm saying? We don't want to stay in the heat to heal long enough to get to that point. And even in a sense, I feel like I've healed in a lot of things. With the grief thing, I'm in the rolling boil. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense? I'm
Mm-hmm.
in the rolling boil because when you lose someone that was a part of your everyday dynamic, that just changes everything.
It changes
Does that
everything.
make sense? It changes your perspective. It changes your schedule. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Because if you were used to talking to somebody at 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m., and it's no more, you have everything changes. Your schedule has to change. Your mindset has to change. It's like you have to go through a reset every day of realizing that they're not there. Does that make sense?
Yep, because now you have to figure out what goes in that space.
Right.
Who goes in that space now?
Sometimes nobody fits.
Right. Who goes in that space now that they had such a significant spot.
Yeah.
So who do I put there now? My
Yeah.
personal solution to that was me.
Yeah. There you go.
More of me
Yes.
because I now have to take that love that they had for me or that love that we shared and I
Yeah.
got to keep it all to myself
That's
because
right. That's right.
where they are, we believe they are love. They
Yes.
have all the love, the infinite
Right.
love.
Right. Right.
So
Absolutely.
it's okay for me to use that they left me with
Mm.
and use it for myself because they have more than enough. But at the same time, love doesn't end. It's energy. It cannot neither be created nor
Mm.
destroyed.
That's right.
So it's going to be ongoing forever. But my job here, because I'm still on my journey, their
Yes.
journey came to a close. Mine is
Yeah.
still going. So now I have to use that love as fuel. I have
Yeah.
to.
Yes. Absolutely.
And they're gonna
Absolutely.
give me so much on
Mm-hmm.
the other side. I'm gonna share this with you, and this is crazy. For those of you that don't know, my father transitioned last September. And I'm about to get emotional because it just happened almost 2 hours ago when I was getting dressed,
Yeah.
right? And I'm totally in chill mode today. Like today has been super chill. I'm like, okay, let me get a couple things together. Let me get myself ready because I go back out flying tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I was just at ease, you know. I'm like everything's good. So I'm in my closet and I'm, packing my little bag and, making sure I have everything and I'll do the final packing later. And my doorbell goes off. My ring door does a little chime. And it's on the other side of the closet. So I go look to see who's at my door. And when I looked at the phone, I didn't see anything. And then all of a sudden, I saw a hummingbird flying
Mhm.
at my door, looking like, for the longest. And I just said, this old man gets on my nerve because it's just one of those things that constant reminders
Yeah.
that they're here.
Yes.
Me,
Yes.
I took that as a job well done, daughter, because he's always congratulating. He's always
Yeah.
supportive. He's always doing that. I don't say he always used to. No, he's still doing it
Right.
on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of you, when you're open and
Mhm.
understand and actually resonate at the frequency of love.
Right.
Okay, you like when I get choked up like right now, it's love. It's not,
Yes.
oh, I'm sad. I'm not. He's at peace. He's ringing my doorbell as a hummingbird. He's good,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's just when you resonate at the frequency of love,
Yes.
you feel them, you hear
Yeah.
them, you
Yeah.
sense them. They
Yeah.
you're more aware of the symbols. I see his birthday on the phone or the clock every day. Like
Yeah.
it just happens.
Yep. Yeah.
And that is because I chose
Mhm.
my power, my
Yeah.
personal power, not
Right. Right.
defeat, not the
Right.
pain, not the
Right.
not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I chose peace
Yeah.
because they're at peace. I chose to keep going on the journey because
Yeah.
that's what they want for us. I
Absolutely.
chose a different frequency. Yes, we are supposed to feel that human emotion. Absolutely.
Mm.
But
Yes.
what you do with that emotion makes
Mm.
all of the difference.
It does. It does.
All of the difference.
Yes.
There is no human being on this planet that will get around that feeling
No. We're all gonna
ever in
experience it.
some capacity.
Yeah.
I don't care
Absolutely.
if it's your parent, spouse, heaven forbid your kid. I don't care. I don't care if it's your fur baby.
Yeah.
You're going
Right.
to feel that is a human experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is. It's a natural emotional response, to the loss of a loved one. That's what grief, that's what it is. And it's it's a process. You get what I'm saying? It is a journey. It is a journey to try to realize that, like you said, we all will experience it, but in the same sense of the matter. When I think about my cousin, because the first couple weeks it was rough. I'm not gonna lie. It was like I don't have a biological sister, but it was like losing my sister because I'm the oldest female cousin on my father on my paternal side, and she was right behind me, and everybody in the family like called her salt and pepper. So, because she was a little bit of darker complexion than me, and but her love was so strong with the family. Her love was family, family, family.
Mhm.
But the way she lived actually taught me because she said we had a conversation. Um, because what was so crazy is that I lost an aunt uh in February. We found out that she had passed in her house on a Monday. We had her funeral Saturday. I talked to my cousin Saturday on the way home. Found out my cousin died that Monday. So the last conversation she and I had was basically I'm telling her to take care of her. She's like, you need to take care of you. You need to do what's good for you. Do what you want to do. Do what you love to do. Do what make you happy. I see a part of you being happy right now. She was like, I love that. I love that for you. Because we just celebrated her 50th birthday. It was so freaking amazing. We had such an awesome time. And And she just talked about how happy I seemed to her. She was like, because she's been through like every walk of my life with me, kids, divorces, everything. And she was like, I see that you're happy, and
Mm-hmm.
that makes me happy. And then that Saturday after my aunt's funeral, she was talking about, I want you to focus on that more. I want you to do that, be that more, because this is what you deserve. So this is what I take when I think of her. I'm not saying I don't shed a tear, because that's growth in the grief.
Mm-hmm.
Grief. It's growth
Growth
in the
in the
grief.
grief. Ooh, that's
So
good.
so one thing I can say about that is that I don't shed a tear because of so much, because I feel like I can't do things without her. I shed the tear because of the fact that I was shown so much grace to be loved upon while she was here. And then I still get lessons when I think about her when she's not physically present. See, that's the thing you have to grab with the growth in the grief. You have to understand that there still are lessons that was said before they left that you're not going to catch until you get in the place that you need them.
Mm-hmm.
So don't miss it. Don't miss it. You know, my grandfather passed away in 87. I want to say 87. I'm still getting those nuggets that he told me as a kid when I was like, what is he talking about
Right.
now? What? So don't forget that there is levels to the grief, but you have to keep a notebook to understand that there is also lessons and nuggets in knowing who that person was, and also seeing their life and how they handle things. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, sometimes people before us that we love that transition, sometimes the transition is a release from this side because it was too much for them.
Yeah.
And we don't want to think about that, but that's reality of what it is. And
Yeah.
sometimes we look at their life and we have to understand that, okay, that's how I can't be. That's how I have to do things differently. I have to put me first. I have to love me first, because some of them, some of the people that we love, loved on everybody else, and they got rest when they went to rest. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
my thought in it. That's what I'm being taught. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm learning, and that's how I'm growing within the grief. And like you said, the hummingbird. That's so crazy because right after her funeral, my daughter and her boyfriend was like, he was like, no, Ma, we'll drive you home. I said, no, I'm good. You know, I got it. Well, um. I said in my head, I said, and her nickname was Red. I said, Red, I said, you know what? You always want to be first doing something. You get on my nerves. I'm older than you. Like, how dare you leave before me? You got some nerve. I'm talking, just talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if I could see you right now, I'd probably punch you in the arm because we used to punch each other in the arm. And I'm driving down the road and I see two red birds. Now, mind you, I just lost my aunt the week before burial, and then a week later, my cousin
Right.
transition buried her. Monday and Saturdays. 2 Mondays and Saturdays in a row. And I see the red birds and
Uh-huh.
they chasing each other.
Yep.
And I can hear her voice say, and I'm always going to do it first. I'm like, that's jacked up, but okay, I'm going to let you have this one because I ain't finished here yet.
I love it.
I'm not
Yeah.
finished.
That hmm. The I look at when I look back at my life, I remember going to a funeral when I was like 3.
Mm,
And throughout my entire life, that's what I did because the family and the family friends was so vast.
yeah,
And they were my elders, now ancestors.
yeah,
And when I sit back and I think about all the people that used to be always around, they're all gone.
yeah,
So I kind of got to a place of numbness when it came to attending services, right?
yeah, I understand.
But as a kid, it was curiosity. And
Yeah,
it always made me wonder, like, well, what happened? What their life, their illness, their tragedy, whatever, just
yeah,
itself, the transition itself,
right,
right?
right.
And as I delve deeper into metaphysics and all of that, and just that knowing,
Yeah,
I said, something seems pretty normal about this. The circumstances may not be. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But the
Right. Right.
circumstances. That's it. But for me growing up, it was a normal thing. Because a lot of
Yeah.
old people, I'm talking old people.
Right.
Really old.
Right.
And so I said, it's funny how when someone transitions, sometime later someone else appears. A new person,
Right.
a new baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I understood the cycle.
Yeah.
And I said, people really don't understand that you can't have one without the other. You can't have life without that. It just doesn't
Right.
happen.
Right.
And we just don't grasp the concept of that is how things go. Like I said, the situations and the circumstances are always different. I will say this until I'm orange and purple in the face. Tragedy is something else.
Yes.
Totally different.
Yes. Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
right there, yes, that is hard.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard because not just the tragedies that I've witnessed and experienced in my life growing up, but I come from my mother,
Yeah.
who her brother, who was 11 months older than her,
Yeah.
lost his life at a party they went to.
Wow.
She felt intuitively, I don't think we should go. Oh,
Right.
come on, let's go, let's go. I don't really think we should go. She went with them, left without him.
Mm.
So when I think about her upbringing and somewhat, he was her protector
Yeah.
until she was 18, because that's when he was 19, she was 18. And
Right.
the upbringing that they had, he was kind of her protector
Right.
until she had to learn how to protect herself.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
when you say, you know, every look at how they lived, number one. Look
Mhm.
at what their meaning in your life was.
Mhm.
They were there for a reason.
Absolutely.
We all are in each other's lives for a particular reason.
Oh yeah.
When I look at my mother, and a year prior to losing him, she lost a set of twins at 8 months pregnant. So realistically, 8 months, you're ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Oh
head
yeah.
on collision took them.
Oh wow.
And so not only is she grieving them, now she has
Yeah.
to grieve her brother.
Yeah.
And realistically, I had to tell her over the past couple of years, you need to grieve properly. You've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
done it. And
Yeah.
now her husband of 47 years, she's like, I got to do this. You do.
Yeah.
You do, because you've carried
Yeah.
it. And now that final version of grief
Right.
has hit you. You've already
Yeah.
lost siblings, parent, child, or children. You've had that impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now this one, and she said this feels different. It's a new one. Go
Yeah.
get help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're literally like, I've watched multiple people never actually say, I need to talk to somebody.
Right.
They carry
Yeah.
it with them. They
Oh yeah.
take it and it drags them. And they never reach that. Remember, I said that frequency of love,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that excitement to just be
Yeah.
like, oh my God, there you are. I see you. We see it on
Yeah.
social media from time to
Oh yeah.
time.
Oh
When
yeah.
people are like, there you are, baby. I see you spinning that little thing over there doing all this. That's the
Yeah.
frequency of love, not the frequency
Right.
of grief.
Right. Right. Right.
When you can
Right.
hear them, when you can smell their scent, when you can, I mean, any type of
Yeah.
connection and communication will happen.
Right.
And
Right.
what I tell people, sit in it,
Mm.
get excited. What just happened at the door? I said, okay, old man. All right. We just send them 6 numbers like we talked about.
Right. Exactly. Let 'em on, sir. Let 'em.
So it's a thing where I consider myself to be an observer.
Yeah,
of all of everything and all things, even things I don't want to see. And I've watched people grieve in so many different ways, relationships
absolutely.
that
Absolutely.
fail.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The hardest one I think people experience is grief of people who are still alive. And I had to do that a couple times and doing that right now as well. You
Yeah.
you have to grieve knowing that they're still there, but it's gone.
It is gone. Yes.
The
Yes.
relationship, the communication,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
connection, it's
Yep.
gone.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yes.
And to because I think with physical transition versus grieving someone who's still with us, you still have the temptation to reach out. You still have hope that there will be some kind of interaction for on one side of it. You still have an opportunity to reconnect, realign, fix whatever, or if you're related to them, you got to see them, and then all those feelings start boiling back up.
Yeah.
That one right there,
Absolutely.
there is no closure until one of you is closed.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's powerful. I love that because I just, being that I lost my paternal aunt and my cousin who was like a sister to me on my paternal side, I had to have the death of my paternal father who's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through that. And this is not the first time, this is actually the second time. Um, I had to let things go because you do yourself a disservice when you try to hold on to someone that's not willing to have a relationship with you. First of all, they don't honor who you are. Um, they have their own stuff going on that mask any type of love that you're giving. Um, that you could give that they could receive or that they could benefit from, they don't even see that. They don't even realize that. They don't see the value in that. They're like basically blind to the fact that having you in their life is a blessing. But the blessing of it is for them to be ghosts, for them to be gone, for them to be
Mm-hmm.
to be a death of the relationship because all it was going to do is make me stagnated. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
especially when you're the child and they're the parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest thing to me. And especially when other people see them in a different light than what they shown you and how they are to you. You get what I'm saying? So and I've learned and I've grown in the grief of that, grieving someone that's still here, is because I applaud women that have an amazing relationship with their dad. I love it. I love to see it. It gives me a sensibility that there is so much more love and honor in a father and daughter relationship. I no longer grieve it to the fact where it depletes me. I celebrate it where it ignites me.
Yes.
And the beauty in that is that I have two older daughters and their relationship with their father is great. Is great. And I love that for them, you know. But I myself, I had to have that, and have had it in relationship. I've had it in the marriage. I mean, when I divorced, I was like, I'm out, I'm gone. I don't want, like and not to seem so harsh, but you're dead to me. And you have to be because the part of you that I love actually was a facade in my head that I put together because that's how I truly want to be loved. But you did not have the capacity to love me in the way that I needed. So
Mm-hmm.
I made this chariot of a person in my head that I held on to until I could no longer do it because it was in my face. So I had to let you go. And sometimes it's not them leaving that makes the person that's still alive. It's that you have to have a funeral, a mental funeral for that person and say, baby, I gotta lay you down
You
and I
gotta
can't
say,
pick you
you gotta
back
have a few
up.
words.
I gotta block you from my phone. I gotta block you from my email account. I gotta block you from every social media site because as I allow this and this connection to you to die, I got to thrive. I'm going to feed me because why? On the other side of that death is somebody that's going to love me and respect me. It's somebody that's going to hold me dear. It's somebody that's going to be okay with who I am and love me for the person that I am. They're not going to be the epitome of hell in my life. They're going to, spark me to grow. They're going to challenge me to grow. They're going to teach me some things that I don't know. You get what I'm saying? And they're going to bring grace because grace was shown to them and they're going to give it to me. And
Mhm.
that is going to cultivate me even into a better person that is unapologetically me and that
Mhm.
loves me for me. So sometimes we have to have that depth of that person that's still alive
Yeah.
because baby, you blocking what you really deserve if you don't. Go
Yeah.
on and write the obituary and
Yeah.
leave them
And
people alone.
you have to get through that. But you also have to get to that point of knowing that's what's on the other side of
Oh
what's
yeah.
of what we
Oh
call
yeah.
the grief itself.
Mhm.
There's people can't see beyond that. And it's
Right,
like
right.
when you have that knowing, when you we talked about earlier about how to get into your personal power, how to
Yeah.
live in it, how to be in it.
Yeah.
When that is who you are,
Mhm.
and you know who you are, like you said, nobody can tell you who you are
Right.
once you've gone through
Oh
it,
yeah.
the grief of yourself, the transition of you. Nobody
Mhm.
can tell you, but there's the reward from that is also the knowing, no matter what is laid in front of me, greater
Mhm.
is always beyond, because
Yes.
I'm okay with anything leaving. Even though I'm okay with anything leaving, and I know there will be consequence with everything that does leave, whether it be
Absolutely.
suffering, whether it be pain, whether it be excitement and enthusiasm, whatever it is, there's something that's going to come with that thing leaving.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, but when I know this is over, you are gone, I'm going
Mhm.
to assist with the sweeping and the cleaning out. We're going to move this along.
Yes.
I'm okay with that because I know once I get through this, once I get
Mhm.
beyond this point, I'm going to
Mhm.
come out with something better. I'm
Mhm.
going to come out with more wisdom. I'm going to
Mhm.
know just how strong and resilient I am. I'm going to get to know me on a whole new level. Why? Because I'm changing too. I'm about to be different. I'm about
Yes.
to be better.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not getting ready to be worse because this is over. No, I'm about to be better because
Yeah.
this being over, this being done is
Uh-huh.
actually something that did not serve me, and the next great version of myself can't have all this. She can't have all that.
Can. Yeah. It's
She can't be
two-weighted.
involved in any of that.
It's two-weighted. It's kind of like I said, me being a Southern girl, and I used to go to my great grandmother's house on my maternal side, and she was a very little short little Indian lady, and she didn't believe in any type of new inventive stuff at all. Everything in her house was just strictly old. So she didn't even have a dustpan. So we would just sweep stuff up on a little piece of cardboard. And like I said, there's level to the clarity of the grief and that and when you were talking, I just saw that when she said, go sweep the floor. And then I'm like, but this broom is made, she handmade her brooms of straw. I'm like, it ain't getting it all. She said, now I want you to take the cardboard, I want you to take a piece of newspaper and I want you to push it up, the dirt up on there. Okay, that was a little bit better, but there's still a little bit more residue left. That's what I'm looking at her. She said, now I want you to take that and put that outside, but then I want you to come back and I want you to get this little soft piece of newspaper and wet it and then I want you to wipe the floor clean. See, there is layers to removing that
Mm-hmm.
residue
Mm-hmm.
of that person. It's layers to it. It
Yeah.
doesn't all go away at once, but there is
Right.
layers to removing the residue. You might sweep it up once and that feeling, that emotion and stuff is still a little bit there. Then you got to go right on back. Let me go back to my little soapbox of healing and I might need to talk to somebody. I might need to lay on somebody's couch. I might need to woosah. I might need to meditate. I might need to pray. I might need to do whatever it is. Talk to my girlfriends. I might need some brunch and lunch, honey. I might need, I might need a whole kumbaya for them to check me before I wreck myself. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna go back over there and then I'm gonna get that little wet paper towel and I'm gonna wipe it clean. And then one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm okay.
Good.
I
That's
am
good.
good. I
Yes.
don't even care, you know? So
Man.
it's layers to it. And once you get to the layers, you understand, like I said, there's growth in the grief. And there I still have my moments. I still have my times in but I don't stay there. That's one thing. Are you gonna stay where you at? Are you gonna allow, the grief to take you to a place that's not um that does not bring value to your purpose? Or will you grieve in a way, like you said, that you smile and then here comes the hummingbird? And that you remember those great things and you remember how blessed you were and you remember the fact that it was an honor to have this individual in my life to pour into me. So it's up to us where we go and the path that we take within this grief journey. But we have to know that it does get better day by day. And we have to know that we have to be accountable for how we see it, and we have to be responsible for our growing
Yes.
within it. We have to be a partaker of it. We have to be part of our own rescue.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, in a
we have
nutshell.
to be responsible for our growing and not allow ourselves to be stunted because
Yeah,
we're stuck
yeah,
in the
yeah,
pain
yeah,
of that person leaving us physically.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you know, I tell people, people have lost spouses, kids, whatever it is, whomever it is that left you before what you feel is their time, because
Right.
unfortunately it was their time.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hardest part. It was their time, no matter how we look at it.
Right, right.
It's and let me just preface this by saying I'm never gonna say anything to offend people. It's just the real. We
Yeah,
cannot we cannot defy when it is, because what we say it all the time. We don't know when.
we don't know.
We don't know when. We
Right,
expect, but we don't know. So
right.
when it's their time, it's like, okay, what did they leave us with? They left us
Mm,
with love, memories,
mm-hmm,
moments,
mm-hmm.
just their essence, their energy. They gave, that's a gift.
Yeah, it is. Truly.
And and when you take that and you use it, instead of saying, but it's not about you.
No.
I want them here. I get that. It's not about you, because it's their life, not yours.
Right.
You are a part of. We were a
Mm-hmm.
part of each other's, but
Right.
we cannot keep them forever. I tell people all the time, there is no permanent relationship.
No.
Well, excuse me, let me take that back. There is no permanent person in your life. Relationships are
Right.
permanent, because
Yes.
me and my daddy, we still got a relationship. Me and him, we still go at it. But it's everyone is temporary, and the only person that is permanent in your life is you.
Yeah.
So we can't
Yeah.
expect everyone to be with us forever, no matter how much we want them to. Now, it's hard. Yes, like I said, tragedy is one thing. I watched my father suffer. That was another thing. When
Yeah.
people go in peace, it's great. But they
Right.
find that peace on the other side.
Right.
We don't get to choose. I think a lot of people struggle with guilt at times. And that's another reason why they latch on to that stuck
Yeah.
spot,
Yeah.
because I should have been able to do something, or I wish I would have said this. I wish they
Mm-hmm.
could know that. I
Yeah.
I I wish this would have happened, or that would have happened.
Right.
We as human beings can get stuck
Right.
right there, because guilt
Yeah.
will not allow us to keep going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
forgiveness is also a factor in grief.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You have to practice forgiveness. Something else human beings struggle with, but we have to forgive ourselves
Yeah.
for not doing this, that, or saying this or that. So something that I tell people all the time, those that don't really feel like they can connect, I ask them, well, do you talk to them? No, I don't. Well, they can hear you. They're a part of you. They're within you. They're around you. They're part of all that there is now.
Yeah.
To them. They want to hear from you. They want you to acknowledge that they are there. My father, he at my mother and over here, he every day. I'm here. Thank you, Daddy. I got okay. Thank you. I see you.
Yeah.
Please.
Scientifically, and like I said, me raised in the church, people like, oh, when people die, they dead, they gone. Scientifically has debunked DNA is so your great 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 grandmother had your DNA in her. You get what I'm saying? All
Mhm.
of the eggs that she okay. So how are you telling me when I think of someone and I know the symbolization of this is this, debunk what happens then. Oh, that's evil. So evil is greater than light. That's what you're telling me then? That's what you're telling me. So it's like that's why I said I'm unapologetically me. Like the church folk don't like me no more like that. But it's okay because I'm still thriving over here and I'm still blessed. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact. So I'm like, I love y'all but you have to realize that things happen to heal us.
Right.
Does that make sense? Things
Absolutely.
happen to heal us. And I had to tell a friend of mine a couple of years back that was grieving, that was always talking about the loss. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm not never a person to tell you how long you can grieve, but what I am telling you is that the grief is a mask for the stuff that you don't want to be healed from. So don't allow the grief to be a mask of to hold on to the stuff that you don't want to heal from because that's the most recent thing that happened. You don't want to let go of all the other stuff. So you involve yourself in this grief and said, "Oh, I lost so and so." No, you really hurting for all this other stuff that you felt in, but you really didn't. It was actually something that was supposed to happen. Like you need to get healed of that, and then you need to properly grieve the individual and not place all that emotion onto the grief itself. And that's something that I had to learn. My grandfather passed. It was like I held on to that so long. And that, even though I was only like maybe 15 years old, probably 14 years. And I was holding on to that, but it was other stuff. You get what I'm saying? And you don't realize that until you're older and you understand that some people will take grief and they will hold on to it like a crutch
Yeah.
to do crazy stuff or not to do or be purposed in what they're called to do. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't do that because I no longer have this person or that person in my life or they're gone and left me. I can't go on. Baby, well, stop breathing. That's what
Right.
I tell them. Well, just stop breathing. Don't do anything right now. Just go on out. Just die. Just lay
Go with
there and die.
go in the they say go into the grave with them. It's
Yeah,
there's certain people who also use their grief in a victim way, meaning that they want people
hmm
to always feel bad for them,
yeah,
and
exactly.
they keep using it like it's an excuse for because it's an excuse. Come on, spirit. It's an excuse for them not to keep moving forward.
Right,
It's an
right,
excuse. It's like,
right,
okay, I get this attention, but this
right.
attention is also because I don't know how to get out this stuck space. It's all different kinds of ways. And we tell people all the time, nobody can tell you how to grieve. I know that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I have a dear friend of mine. I went to school with her son. We were very good friends. And after his transition, after his accident, about 2 years after, she and I became really good friends. And I don't mind her talking to me about him. That
Right,
was her only son.
right, right,
I love hearing her. I have one son. I
right,
would want somebody to listen to me,
right.
but
Absolutely.
because I knew him and was his friend,
Yeah,
versus when she tells me, yeah, my sisters and all these people tell me you always talking, you always. I said, and that was your baby. If
yeah.
you want to
Oh,
talk about
absolutely.
him, and she still has his urn in her house.
Right.
And she said, people be like, you need to do something with that. I said, that's your child. You do what you want to do with him. He's
Well,
one.
they
He's
still
going
got
to
their
be so
mama and them
like
at the graveyard. They mama and them still at the graveyard. So I mean, what's the difference?
if
It's
you
just a
want to
different
keep him on the
location.
mantle, keep him on the mantle. Can't nobody tell you what you're supposed to do and how long you're supposed to do it.
Right, right. I always
Do
told
it
my
your
children, pick
way.
pick who gonna take me to their house or separate me in three different urns because y'all get me. Don't put me in no ground. I'm so for
That
real.
was my dad's thing. He on the mantle at the house. But the thing about it is nobody can tell you how to grieve. Nobody can tell
Yeah,
you what to do. Nobody
yeah,
can actually say this is right, this is wrong.
right.
What
Absolutely not.
I choose to tell people is feel it, let it hurt,
Yeah,
and
yes,
let it heal.
yes, yes,
But in the
yes,
healing, make sure you move forward because what would they want you to do? If
yes,
you're
yes.
so busy thinking about them, because your pain is you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If your pain is you, your progress is them,
Yeah,
helping you move through that pain,
yeah,
showing you the way, the love. You can't stay there
right.
because if you stay there, it's about you. It's not about them.
Absolutely. That's what I was getting at. Don't make it about you. Don't use it as a crutch to stay somewhere because at the end of the day, no one that truly love you um will want you to stay stagnated once they transition. They just wouldn't. It's just it's not life. It's not life and it's not life abundantly. It's not being in a place of wealth. You know what I'm saying? As far as having the wholeness and the fullness of life. So my thing is get help, get assistance. That's what you need. We're here to help each other along the journey. We're not here to do it alone. And sometimes, which now sometimes certain communities is like you going to talk to somebody. Well, is you crazy? You know,
Yeah,
that's what the old folks used to say. I used to say, yeah, a little bit. To live here, I have to be.
yeah, and it's okay. However you need to do it,
Right,
just
right.
do it.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah,
don't stay. Just don't stay in that space for a long time.
yeah,
Because
right.
once again, if you're gonna stand in your personal power, if you're gonna get through it, you got to get through it.
Yes,
You got to
yes.
get through it.
And you will. And
You
you
will.
will. You
You will.
will because on the other side of this is the abundance that you have only been, I say, really smallly imagining, but it's way more than you could ever think and or imagine for yourself on the other side of finding your power. I love how you say that. Finding your power, like finding your truth, finding your power. And I really implore people like y'all please just get out there and heal and know that that grief can be it can be a part of your everyday life, but it doesn't have to change the dynamics of your journey and your purpose. It can be just a part of what you've experienced and a part of who you are. It's a part of your story. It's a
Yes.
part of your story. And someone is assigned to you to hear that story. So we have to get it together so someone can hear that and then their story can change. And then they do the same thing. It's like a domino effect. Y'all get what I'm saying? The energy is real. And
Yeah.
the energy is only going to be real if we have the right kind. And then we touch someone else
Yes.
with that energy and it's infectious. That's how we put our imprint in the cement and not the sand.
Come
We
on.
love on each other. We transfer great energy. We show a multitude of love and we explain to them how we got there.
Woo!
Simple.
Because your story is not for you. Once
It's not.
again, your story is not for you. This has
Okay.
been so awesome. Let everybody know where they can find you. Your tag. Everybody go follow Miss Cynthia Robinson, please.
Yes,
That's
I am Cynthia Robinson or Zenfo underscore Stan, CYN. I'm just who I am, y'all. Look, I embrace and love and I love to make people laugh now. I cut up bad too. But but I just want to say to Dawn, like the first time I saw you, like Tori, I love Tori because Tori is a person that has Tori Williams that she was on here earlier. I don't know if she's still on that has been was on a journey with me when I was healing through a horrible relationship. And I'm telling you, Tori was like, that's my dog. That's my girl.
I love her.
But she said, I need you to look, I'm gonna be on live. I need you to see these two women. And you and Donna, is it Donna
Uh-huh.
was on there? Oh my God. I was like, man, ain't no way they got that vibe like that. It's like I could feel it coming through the phone. I was like, they dope, man, in their own way. It's like, y'all is so dope. I was like, I told Tori I had to follow y'all. And it's like the impartation of the things that you share. When you share, you impart things in me to not only confirm a lot of the journey that I have been on and that I am on, but you help to ring an alarm to let me know that the beauty of life, the beauty of what God has created, taking it in, experiencing it unapologetically, and loving yourself in every process of life. I just want to say I appreciate you for that. I appreciate that what you do resonates through the screen to let people know that self-love is the best love. Because when anytime someone biblically says, "Oh, you can't, you supposed to put people before," no, baby, the words say, "Love thy neighbor as you love thyself," meaning you got to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't give nobody else what you do not have.
Exactly.
So, so I love the fact that you share yourself with us
Thank you.
so selflessly. Continue to do that, my sister. Continue to pour out because you don't understand that your pour fills an empty vessel.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you so much. I mean,
Thank you.
it
Thank you.
means a lot. It means so much. And like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I've always known I have something to do
Oh yeah.
in
Oh
this
yeah.
world,
Oh yeah.
and you confirmed it for me today that much more.
Oh yeah.
That, when you think you're not being seen or heard or expressed or experienced, it just, it just becomes, you know what? The divine told me to do this, so I'm gonna do it. It just
Yeah.
came. It's somebody got to hear it. Somebody needs this. I don't know who,
Yeah.
but when you understand that we're all one, I
Right.
need it.
Yeah.
So somebody else is gonna need it.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
I
yeah.
thank you. I thank you for first of all being here, being you off top,
That's
and
all
just
I
for
can
seeing
be.
me, and just being on that frequency with me,
Oh yeah.
being on that frequency with me, because we're here to do
Oh
some
yeah.
amazing things.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you need me, call on me, girl. I'll be there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, well, everyone. I didn't mention it, but I have. If you click in my bio, I have a few goodies on my stand store that I just uploaded. One is called From Stuck to Empowered, and it's the vibration awareness worksheet that you can download to check your vibe. It's going to
Awesome.
help you master becoming aware of your vibratory frequency that you're on based on your emotions
Ooh,
and how you're feeling, and questions, empowering questions to ask yourself, to check with yourself on how you're feeling, because once again, the objective is to build a stronger relationship with you.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
by
Oh, yeah.
asking yourself certain questions until they
Mm,
become a way of life, until you really tap into you and be like, I feel okay.
yeah.
That's when you're gonna know that you are empowering yourself, because you are
Right.
in control and you are learning self mastery. And that is what I
Right.
do at Evolve Align Life Mastery. We help people evolve into the greatest version of themselves, and self-empowerment, self-love, self everything is the biggest and most highest frequency you can be on.
Truly. True.
And I'm
I
here
love
to
that.
help you do that. So if you go into my stand store on in my bio,
Go into it.
not only that, I still got a lot of affirmations apparel stuff here, and I'm gonna need y'all to go on and buy it. Listen, let's just be clear. As Cupcake says, let's be clear. So if you purchase tonight
Hey,
anything
Cupcakes.
on the store, use the code affirm20, you get 20% off tonight. So go grab your stuff, because I still got a ton of merchandise. It's just sitting here. You can have it. It's yours.
Yeah.
20% off. in my stand store. It all the links are there. And if you were not here earlier, this live will be on my YouTube channel. I'll be posting clips throughout the week for you guys to indulge and hope you guys got some nuggets. I hope you guys got some gems
Yeah,
here. I
I
hope we
hope
were
so.
able to help someone tonight
Right.
uh,
Absolutely. I hope so.
understand how to move through the process. And
Yeah.
if you did, by all means, go ahead and let us know. DM us. Let us know, Tori. Absolutely.
Love you, Tori.
We love you.
Yeah.
Each and every one of you for rocking with us. I'll be back next week, Tuesday, with an amazing guest. We're going to talk about spiritual awakening. He goes
Oh,
by
I gotta get on that.
King Dom. I forget the numbers, but I'm going to post them. Anyways, we're going to have an amazing conversation about spiritual awakening. He is an
Love it.
awesome
Love it.
individual. Haven't had a conversation with him yet. We just vibed a couple times online, but I'm looking forward to that conversation as well. And I will see you all back here next Tuesday. I love you all to life. Thank you once again. Peace and limitless blessings.
Blessings.